Good morning and welcome to day 2 of Share 2018. My name is Tabitha Ullman and this has been an exciting week. In case you can't tell, the electricity in this room is insane. And today's also a special day because we have with us Noelle Budd, the social media manager for Moody Radio. First of all, Noelle, thank you for joining us.
Definitely. Glad to be here.
Well, I've been itching to get to know you because I've heard your name around, but today's my first day actually meeting you. So why don't you just tell us a bit about yourself?
So I'm Noelle. I'm really passionate about people. I'm really passionate about ministering to people, encouraging people. I have an awesome family. My husband Christian is such a blessing, and we have a little daughter named Heidi. She's 3.5, and she's just a ball of energy. So she keeps us young at heart and in life. Because the work that I do is so digital, I really like to do things that involve my hands when I'm not working. So I like to make cards, I like to craft, hang out with friends. So
you're just really a personal, relational kind of person.
Yeah, I would say that.
That's awesome. Now I heard that you have a very unique story as to how you started working at Moody in the first place. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I work here at Moody because of Share. So 10 years ago, I had gone to like a secular undergrad school, and I had rededicated my life to Christ right before starting. So I felt like I was growing by listening to Moody Radio. But then during spring break of grad school, I heard that there was this thing called Share, and I was like, what is this thing? This sounds so cool, like a volunteering opportunity. So I signed up. I was here at 5 a.m. and I didn't really know what to expect. I walked in and basically like everyone who was here who was a volunteer, who was like staff at Moody, they were all together and we all held hands and prayed and we took calls, and it was such a cool time. I remember thinking, like, any organization that depends on volunteers for donations and gifts, like, I want to be a part of that. I was so encouraged by the stories I was hearing of life transformation from Moody Radio, and 5 years after that first time, every single year I volunteered for Share. I would make time in my schedule to do it. I'd work it out with my employers and stuff, and there was an opportunity to work here, and so I said, I want to. So I applied for the social media position, and 5 years later I'm here, so it's been 10 years of Share. And
oh my word.
Yeah, it's so encouraging. Yeah.
So Noelle is our Share veteran, as you can see. So Noelle, once again, is the social media manager. So take us into your job a bit. What does the average day on the job look like for you?
That's a great question, because there is no average day with social media.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, I'm really grateful that I have a team now. When I first started, it was just me trying to figure out like a new work atmosphere and like a new role and like this digital landscape that's changing moment by moment.
Right.
So part of, like, I'll talk about like some of the things we do are we monitor social media, so we like respond to mentions and when people like Facebook message us. We also create content. We have a fuller digital team. We're always looking for like stories that we can share. We have a graphics team, so we're thinking about how visually can we help engage people. We know that social is very visual, so we want to make sure that the content we're creating is like visual. And yeah, we have, I mean, just like a lot of other things, but those are like the gist of it.
Awesome. Well, we know that social media is such a unique platform, and I'm sure there's also a lot of challenges that are associated with the job. So can you tell us about one of the challenges you've had working, and how did you overcome it?
Sometimes we think about social media in terms of like this platform, but really what it is, it's a tool that's used to help people have conversations. We'll get negative comments, or we'll have like negative feedback, and I think it's always helpful to think about there's a person at the end of that message. There's a person attached to that at mention. How can we continue to minister to someone even if there's like a negative perception, or even like flipping it and like blessing them in that way? So that's one of the things that I've learned, is that with social you have to have tough skin, but you also have to have like a graceful heart for the way that you talk, because you have to treat it just like any other conversation you'd have with people. You want to be gracious, you want to minister to them and wherever they're at.
And how is it trying to show love to people who may not agree with what you do? Is it difficult? How do you balance that? Like,
I got a personal like letter in the mail from someone who had like heard about my story, and it was just like not very friendly. It was, I think the person like misunderstood what the message was, and so my next thought was, okay, I don't want to take offense to it. I want to help understand how I can respond back to this person. So like I'm going to write her a personalized letter, and I want to send her a resource because she talked a little bit about the struggles she was facing. So again, I think social media really, it puts you in a unique position where you get to actually hear people's needs,
Right.
even if they're not being said. You can like kind of read and understand like what is the need here and how can I help to like address it or like point them in a direction of getting encouragement and truth.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know we're running short on time, but I have one more question for you.
Okay.
We live in this social media age, everybody's using it, but there's a lot of messages that are going around that are just not true. Lies about beauty, lies about identity. So how would you recommend as Christians that we can use social media to combat these lies and to share truth and light in a broken world?
I think being the same person that you are in person as you are on social media is really important. Sometimes we can go on social media and kind of take on this digital persona
Right.
of like,
Yeah.
this is who I am on Instagram and my life is amazing and like I don't have struggles. I just
Exactly.
have hashtag blessings. And so I think just being genuine in those areas. I mean, a lot of times I think unfortunately social media gets a really bad rep. People
does.
think it's like, oh, you don't need to have an understanding of how to use things. You just like go and tweet and stuff. But really, it is a place where you can create movement. You can create change. You can, by simply like sharing what's on your heart or like a passion that you have or like something you want to share with the world. Like it's an amazing opportunity for evangelism. And it's just like this global opportunity. So.
Right.
I think there's ways that you can abuse it, but that you can also use it well. So being genuine, I think, is really key.
And along with genuine, being wise with how you use it, I
Yeah.
think is huge as well.
Totally true. You should always think like before I post this, is this something I would like want someone to know that I said in person
Right.
or like in real life? And you should really like check that before we post things. So,
And is it going to be uplifting or is it going to bring people down, right?
Totally.
Yeah. Well, Noelle, thank you so much for coming with us. Once again, this is Noelle Budd, and I'm Tabitha Ullman. And again, join us next time as we continue to explore the faces behind Moody Radio.